Okay, so to make a long story short, after I made my Creed 3 video, I decided to rewatch all the Rocky and Creed movies so I can make myself a top favorite list video, and I ended up changing my mind and decided to make this a top 20 strongest Rocky to Creed characters. And for this list, you're going to see fighters and characters overall that you probably would have never expected to see on a list. And so just cut me some slack because I really wanted to make it top 20 and stuff. And before I get to the list, I want to at least make some honorable mentions right quick. And the first honorable mention I want to mention are the sparring partners that were in Rocky 4 and Creed 2 and 3 montage in that one sparring guy that was in Rocky 2. I wanted to mention them because, you know, without them, these characters wouldn't be where they're at, and I want to at least, you know, give them some credit for what they are, sparring partners and stuff. Now, even though they're getting one-shotted by the Dragos and getting beat up by Damian and Apollo Creed, I want to at least mention them. And the second honorable mention I want to mention is the guy that was sparring and training with Adonis Creed and Creed 2. I had to look him up. His name is DJ Walton. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I wanted to add him in the top 20, but only thing we see of him is toe-to-toe in that tire with Adonis. And don't get me wrong, he's showing he can throw some mean body shots, but as far as I know, his footwork is probably ass. He probably can't throw no good jabs. His movements in the ring is probably not good. And on and off, we don't see what he can really do. So I can't really put him in the top 20, even though he sure can throw some mean body shots. Because he's probably good, he's probably bad. We don't know. Alright, for the third and final honorable mention are the pros that got beat up by Rocky, Clubber Lang, and Tommy Gunn in the montage of Rocky 3 and Rocky 5. And, okay, so they can theoretically technically be in the top 20, but it's like, when we see them, they're literally just getting beat up, you know? And literally one of the scenes in the montage of Rocky 3, Clubber Lang is just standing there and telling the guy to punch him in the face. And he's punching him in the face and nothing's happening. And after that, Clubber Lang just beats him up. So, like, I don't know where to put them at, you know? So, I'm just at least, you know, I'm gonna be mentioning them because they are pros. They fought the characters. So, yeah. Well, alright, that's enough for the honorable mentions. Now, to get started with the top 20 list. Alright, for number 20, I have to give it to Spider Rico. So, about Spider Rico, he is shown to get some decent strikes on Rocky, but it's like, when he headbutted him and Rocky started wailing on him, it's like, he did not know what to do. He didn't know how to fight back, and he just got beat up. So, going off of that, I just had to put him dead last in number 20. For number 19, I have Flores, the Mexican ballroom boxer that was shown in Creed 1. And I have him here, so essentially, he's shown to be a better boxer than Spider. And, you know, you see him moving around, actually blocking and fighting back and stuff, so I have him number 19 because of that. Alright, for number 18, I have AMIR. And when we first see AMIR, he pretty much is shown to know more stuff than Adonis before he excelled in his training. And he helped out Adonis via sparring and displaying hand techniques. And I'm not saying who would have won or lost, but when they were about to butt heads, Mans was mighty confident to take on Adonis. And for that, it's not too far-fetched to have him above the ballroom boxer. Alright, so for number 17, okay, I don't know his name. I couldn't find his name online, so I'm just calling him the Creed trainee guy. And I'm going off the Showtime commercial trailer hype thing for the Felix and Damian fight. And in that trailer, they display him and Felix and throw out that these are the next generational boxers. And going off of that, it shouldn't be too far-fetched to have him above AMIR, who wasn't training to be a professional boxer of the next generation, just training just to train. And in Creed 3's training montage, Adonis is showed pretty much to have the top tier reliable stuff to help him out to get back to his A game. And this guy was one of them. So yeah, going off of that, this no-name guy isn't too far-fetched to be here. Alright, so for number 16, I have Kevin Grier, the bank. And I ought to put his ass lower because he got two-shotted by Adonis while wearing head protection. But I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt, which I shouldn't give it the benefit of the doubt because this man offered his car. But anyways, he has 12 wins, 1 loss, and 10 wins by knockout, and he's ranked number 6 in Creed 1. So going off of this, I'm just put him here, especially for the next guy I'm about to present. So yeah. Okay, so for number 15, I have Leo SPORINO, the Lion, and I have him above Kevin because for one, he lasted 2 rounds against an Adonis that was better trained. Another reason is that he's ranked number 4 and has an overall better scoring than Kevin, and overall, he's just shown to be a better fighter than him. Alright, for number 14, I have Danny Stuntman Wheeler, and he's the number 2 guy in Creed 1, and the number 1 guy in Creed 2 by default. And he's pretty much shown to be better than the other 2 guys I ranked. And he did okay against an Adonis Creed that was trained by Rocky, but there was like no context for Adonis Creed to be like dramatically above his Creed 1 stuff. He was like still doing his own thing without getting that crazy training that he got in Creed 2. Even though the sports announcers pretty much says that his age affected the fight, if the Danny that was in Creed 1 switched with the Danny in Creed 2, the fight would have been different, but from the context of how the scene went, Adonis would have still won, especially how he was in Creed 1 against Pretty Ricky Collins, so yeah. Okay, for the next 3 fighters, I have Mason Dixon from Rocky Balboa, Felix Chavez from Creed 3, and Union Kane from Rocky 5. Okay, so these 3 fighters are high-key interchangeable, but don't worry, the way I'm about to rank them is going to make sense. But okay, so for number 13, I have to give it to Union Kane because of the way he put the pressure on Tommy Gunn in the first round in Rocky 5. That's something I don't see Danny being able to do to Tommy Gunn. But the thing is like, even though he got his ass kicked, he did do some decent stuff to Tommy before he got his ass kicked, so I'll give him credit for that. And for number 12, I have to give it to Mason Dixon. Okay, so there's this cool little fight simulation thing in Rocky Balboa where it shows Mason taking advantage of his reach and speed to rack up points. And when he's facing Old Man Rocky, this Old Man Rocky displayed that he regained a good portion of his strength back. And I'm not trying to say Old Man Rocky is stronger or better in general than Tommy Gunn, but this man Mason says Rocky has bricks in his hand, meaning that this man Rocky is punching this guy hard as hell and he's getting back up and going the distance with Old Man Rocky. So from this, I can see him doing better against Tommy Gunn compared to Union Kane. For the number 11, I'll give it to Felix Chavez. Okay. So this guy is very weird because literally everyone in Creed 3 makes it seem like he can defeat Victor Drago. Like, I don't mean to downplay the guy. It just, the way he lost against Damian makes me not want to put him above the next guy I'm at the rank. Because like, he got hit in the shoulder area multiple times and striked multiple times and couldn't really endure the punishment. The way he fought makes me just not want to put him above the next guy. So, number 10 goes to Pretty Ricky Collins. He's pretty much presented to be a very great boxer. Like, he showed to have great movement in the ring, nice reach, can pack a punch, has great techniques to tag his opponents with his hands, can take a lot of punishment, has 38 wins, 0 losses, 28 of them being knockouts, has never been knocked down before in a fight until he fought Adonis. And all in all, pretty much he showed that he was the #1 pound for pound boxer in the world in Creed 1. And Creed 1 doesn't take too long from Rocky Balboa, so he technically probably already beat Mason Dixon unless something happened off camera. And I know Felix is weird, but it's like I had to put him above them because he's shown to be a better fighter overall. Alright, so for number 9, I have to give it to Tommy the Machine Gunn. Okay, let's be fucking for real. pretty Ricky Conlan is not beating Tommy Gunn, okay? Adonis Creed, who was trained by Rocky, nearly defeated Conlan in the final round of Creed 1. But here's the thing, Tommy was also trained by Rocky, and pretty much in Rocky 5, he's basically, and everybody's saying it themselves, he's basically a clone of Rocky, and the techniques that Adonis used to tag Conlan, Tommy knows the techniques too, and with his aggressiveness, his strength, and the way he fights overall, I don't see Conlan being able to beat this guy. Like, I can see Conlan, you know, tagging him a bunch of times, but once Tommy gets some shots in, it's a GG for Conlan. And then also, this is kind of a funny feat. So like, Tommy's able to tackle Rocky, and it can burst through a metal door like it's a deck of cards. So, just want to throw that out there, just to let you know that Tommy is actually very strong. Okay, for number 8, I gotta go with Clubber Lang. Like, this man is shown to be able to punch people so hard, they fly across the ring into a corner. He's able to sling around people in his weight division very easily with one arm. When this man throws out punches, and if you're gonna miss those punches, you hear a whoosh sound. And I know it's just a sound effect, but that's just showing that he has some very devastating strikes. And this man was getting punched in the face a bajillion times by Rocky Balboa after being trained by Apollo Creed, and he kept coming back for more. Literally everybody in the movie is saying that Clubber Lang is a very dangerous boxer, and all in all, I don't see Tommy being able to beat this guy. Like, even though he is basically a Rocky clone, he isn't shown to be 100% like Rocky, you know? And if Union Kane can press him momentarily and give him some noticeable damages on the face, if him and Clubber were to duke it out, I can see, you know, Tommy doing this thing, but once he start noticing that his attacks ain't working on Clubber, and he gonna start getting rowdy, make mistakes, and once Clubber starts dishing out his attacks, that's a done deal for Tommy. And I would like to have Clubber more higher than this, but there's a reason why I have number 8, and I'm going to explain why for the next guy. Okay. For this ranking, I can't explain, okay? So for number 7, it goes to Apollo Creed. Now look, I know about this thing about Apollo Creed being at his prime, being number 1 by default, but here's the thing. I'm only going by what was shown in the movies and context. And from what was displayed for Apollo Creed, he can't be number 1. And I can't just put number 1 because of that prime thing he has going on. But, okay. So for Rocky 3, right? I don't go by context, but for Rocky 3, I know there's this thing where pretty much everybody's saying it. Mickey saying it, Rocky Balboa saying it, Apollo Creed himself is saying it, that basically Clubber Lang is more dangerous, more of an absolute threat, more of a monster compared to Apollo Creed. But here's the thing. Clubber Lang is a fucking dumbass. He is stupid. He is a dum-dum. This motherfucker wasted all of his stamina in the first 2 rounds and lost in the 3rd round. Like, come on now. Apollo Creed can beat that guy. Like, I know there's this weird thing in the movie where Apollo didn't notice that Clubber Lang was wasting all of his energy against Rocky, but I'm just gonna cut him some slack because he was just focused on Rocky and he was worried about his safety and letting him know, hey, stop getting punched and yada yada yada. So I'm just gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe if he was fighting him himself, he would have noticed that Clubber Lang was wasting all of his energy, and he would have took advantage of the situation and defeated Clubber Lang that way. And to back this up, okay, so in Rocky 3, the end of the movie, right before Apollo and Rocky were about to begin their friendly rematch, right? So when you look at Apollo and Rocky, they were literally mirroring each other. Like, their footwork was the same, their ways of moving in the ring was the same, their stance was the same. In the last freeze frame, they looked exactly the same as everybody throw their jabs at each other. And all in all, they were basically a mirror. And in Creed 1, Rocky confirms that Apollo won that fight. Also stacked with the fact that Apollo Creed uses up his stamina way better compared to Clubber Lane. So pretty much, all in all, Apollo Creed is definitely beating up Clubber Lane. Okay, so for the number 6 spot has to go to Victor Drago. So pretty much in Creed 2, and the whole concept of it is pretty much that the Dragos are above the Creeds. And that's pretty much it. Pretty much it. Like Lil Duke says it, like he says this man is big, he's fast, he's strong, he's unorthodox, he's pretty much a monster. Freaking Rocky, when him and Adonis are having a conversation with each other, Rocky pretty much tells Adonis that basically he's going to train Adonis to be better than his father. And Adonis throws out a line like, "So you're better or something?" And he's like, "Well, I beat a Drago, so," and then, you know, Adonis trains to be better than his father. And even though Victor did lose the match, Victor pretty much came close at defeating Adonis. And all in all, he is shown to be a very good fighter, other than like Clubber Lane, who wasted all stamina in 2 rounds. And okay. I'm sorry, that pissed me off. That was embarrassing when I was watching Rocky 3. This man lost that way, but pretty much this guy deserves to be in 6th spot. Stacked with the fact that he was trained by, you know, his father, who was trained to be the best of the best. So it's not too far-fetched to have Victor Drago here. In additional note, if his father were to tell him to break his opponents, he'll literally go out his way to break his opponent's ribs, like, immediately. Okay, so for the number 5 spot goes to Damian Anderson. And pretty much, him and Adonis are literally shown to be equals in Creed 3. And he's able to beat the guy who can narratively possibly defeat Victor Drago. And while he's fighting Chavez, he's literally shown to be a very smart and calculative fighter. And like, he's striking Chavez in these weird, dirty ways while the ref is looking. And he doesn't notice that those are dirty strikes. And while he's fighting Chavez, like, he's shown to, you know, get noticeable damages in the face, and people are pretty much telling him that. But once he trains for Adonis, they're literally shown to be equals. So much to the point that the final battle led to who was more determined to win, and whoever made the first mistake loses. And Adonis was shown to be more determined to win, and, you know, got the winning blow on Damian. Alright, okay, so for the number 4 spot goes to Adonis Creed. Alright, in Creed 2, pretty much he's trying to be better than his father, and when he fights Victor Drago, he pretty much shown to be dominant towards Victor Drago, but then as the rounds go on, they're pretty much just slugging it out. But like, once he gets his ribs broken by Victor and he works to the pain, he's still able to knock down and combo Victor, and, you know, he's still showing that he's still, you know, superior. And even if Victor Drago's mother didn't leave the match to make him not be in the right mindset to fight Adonis, Adonis would have still won regardless, going off of how he was fighting Victor. Okay, but in Creed 3, when he's training to get back to his A game, the whole concept of that is pretty much him getting back to his Creed 2 self, if not equal, or probably just relative to his Creed 2 self. And to make this not too far-fetched, one of his sparring partners is Victor Drago himself. And, you know, as you know, he's still rusty. Victor is shown to be dominant, but once he's getting back to his A game, as him and Victor are duking it out, he strikes Victor and he draws blood, right? Also, this is cool scene in the training montage where he's pulling a plane. So yeah, just wanted to add that in. And this is to back up Damian. So when him and Damian are fighting each other, they're striking each other as hard as possible, they're comboing each other, and they're not drawing out any blood. Like, they're just hitting each other and only getting like bruises on the face, but not like any serious like injuries or pretty much any blood. So yeah, just going off of this, Adonis is definitely number 4. Alright. Okay, so for the number 3 spot, it goes to a guy who is technically a fighter. And this guy is the number 1 world heavyweight wrestling champion, Thunderlips. Yes, I'm adding him on this list because like it wouldn't hurt, right? He fought Rocky in Rocky 3, so it wouldn't hurt, right? But alright, so stuff to note about this guy is that he's 7 feet tall and 390 pounds, and when he was facing Rocky, basically a wrestling v boxing match, he was destroying Rocky in almost every possible way. Like, and then stacked with the fact that this man was beating up multiple security guards simultaneously, got hit in the back by a wooden chair, and the chair broke on him. And then Rocky resorted to bare knuckles. The same Rocky who was able to contend with Apollo Creed, the same Rocky who's known for power punches, goes up to Thunderlips and punches the shit out of him. And this man is enduring the punches, and he got back to grabbing him and destroying him again. So all in all, I really don't see the boxers underneath Thunderlips standing a chance. And there is a massive weight and size difference. And if they were to go, go bare knuckles against him in freestyle, they could probably stand more of a chance with him. But the way they fight and the way he fights, I don't see them standing a chance. And it shouldn't be too far-fetched for me to say that. Alright, the number 2 spot goes to Ivan Drago. Okay, even though it is kind of hype from the manager, he does throw out that there's no one who can match his strength, endurance, and aggressiveness, and says he's basically indestructible. And his wife throws out a line saying they know about Apollo Creed, and they said it'll be an easy victory. So you can go at that by 3 different ways. Either the current Apollo Creed that was shown in Rocky 4, or the Apollo Creed we see in Rocky 1 to 3. Or hear me out, she means Apollo Creed at its prime. Cause like it doesn't really make sense for her to not know about his prime, right? Cause like they keep up with the boxers in America, and Ivan is pretty much supplied by the Russian government with his training. So like all in all, it's not too far-fetched for her to say that. And also to throw this out there, so it's kind of funny right here. So Ivan Drago, as a demonstration by the way, he's able to punch at 1,850 pounds of pressure per square inch or PSI. But here's the thing, when he was training for Rocky, this man was making sure he's honing his skills, getting stronger, faster, increasing his stamina, and he was getting injected by steroids and pretty much training to the point that he was able to punch at 2,150 PSI. And the thing about this, okay, so the strongest bone in the human body is the femur, and it takes up to 1,700 PSI to break it. And the manager pretty much says whatever he punches, he destroys, and that is not too far-fetched. And what else? And I know how I mentioned Thunderlips. Here's the thing though, Thunderlips is a guy, okay? He is a man. If he were to get punched by Ivan, he is getting broken. Because like, if Rocky can punch this guy, he can feel him on just a little bit. Imagine an Ivan Drago punching him. And he's able to lift a lot of weight. Like, he's shown to lift so much weight, he makes people who probably seen powerlifters lift weights, he has them at awe. And there's a scene in the movie where he picks up a grown man with one arm, like he was just a teddy bear or something. This man is crazy. And for the boxing skill department, like, he is shown to be a very great boxer. Like freaking Rocky Balboa, who was trained by Apollo Creed, trained by Mickey, went through all this training experience to get to the point in Rocky 4, to the point that him and Rocky are going toe-to-toe with each other and going through all these rounds with each other. And he's shown to be a very skilled fighter as well. So pretty much everything his manager hyped up about him being this perfect fighter in all categories, wasn't too far-fetched after all. So all in all, this guy, I can't even call him a monster. He's like a damn boxer from the future, like a freaking Terminator boxer or something. And it's also funny because I'm mentioning all this stuff about him, and he's only number 2. That's funny as hell right there. Alright, let's get to number 1. Alright, now, for the number 1 spot, the absolute strongest character in all of Rocky goes to Adonis Creed's daughter, AMARA. Okay, so in Creed 3, right, there is a scene where she throws out her dukes and knocks out the camera view. That is a fourth wall level breaking feat right there. And that makes her the absolute strongest character. How the fuck did I just say that? That was corny and stupid. Fuck it, I'm keeping that in. Okay, all jokes aside though, the number one guy is Rocky Balboa, the Italian stallion. Okay, so for Rocky Balboa, he has a lot of feats and a lot of movies, so I'm just gonna mention the important stuff to keep it as short and simple. Okay, so Rocky Balboa is able to withstand so many dozens of strikes from Ivan Drago, to the point that Ivan Drago even said it himself that Rocky Balboa isn't a man, he's a piece of iron, and they go at it for all the rounds in Rocky 4. Okay, so like, I'm not trying to use headcanon for Rocky, because not confirmed, but pretty much the movies are implying that Rocky's bone structure is very, very strong, okay? And it's not too far-fetched, I'm gonna back this up. So Tommy tackles Rocky through a metal door, right? They bust through a metal door, and Rocky's back is fine. And then in Rocky Balboa, I forgot how many decades later, Mason Dixon punches Rocky in the hip and breaks his hand. Like, oh no, this man's bone structure is very strong. And when it comes to skills, after being trained by Mickey, trained by Apollo Creed, and all in all going through all his experience with these matches, he became so good at boxing that he didn't even need a sparring partner anymore. Like in Rocky 4 and Rocky Balboa, only thing he focuses on is strength and speed and stamina and endurance. And he's able to pretty much have his skills still honed all by himself without a sparring partner. And that says a lot for Rocky when it comes to skill. And when it comes to strength, like, what can I say about the man? The man shows he has a lot of strength. He's able to contend with Ivan Drago. Freaking Thunderlips. He's able to pick up Thunderlips and throw him out the ring. Rocky Balboa, even though he is old, he is shown to lift a lot of freaking weight, and in his prime, he can obviously do more. So this man is crazy strong, crazy skilled, very durable. Like, just saying those three things alone is more than enough to say this man is the absolute strongest, best of the best pound for pound fighter in all of the whole franchise. So yeah, there goes Rocky Balboa. Oh yeah. So one more additional note for Rocky is that, okay, so in Rocky 5, Rocky has a brain injury, right? And the brain injuries, like, you know, side effects kick in, and he's able to shake off side effects from a very serious brain injury. Like, this man Rocky is insane. Okay, that was actually pretty fun to do. Oh wow. But well, if anybody watching the video, of course, definitely, if you like this video, definitely like and subscribe, because I plan on doing more of these in the future. And also, you should definitely share this video around, you know, to let the world know that there's actually a top 20 list of characters out there for the Rocky franchise. And if you like the video, definitely you're gonna like my other videos, so definitely check out my channel. And also, if the list seems wrong to you, and you know, just comment down, think it's wrong. But I think it's right, because I rewatched all the movies and I took notes of everything I saw. So this list should be pretty solid, right? But anyways, well, that's the video, and see ya.